and senior forward Blake Young. Again, we'll take an opening statement from coach and then questions for the student first.
Tough game, but I thought North Dakota played very well. Thought they won a lot of the battles. They are a good defensive team. We ran into two pretty good defensive teams that didn't give us a lot offensively, and when your power play's not going, it's tough. We didn't get any momentum or anything really on the power play tonight, and they did a good job penalty killing. And sometimes you need that spark or that goal off a power play to kind of get a little jump started offensively, and we never really seemed to get anything going offensively or sustained offensive second and third chances. So, but give credit to them; they did a really good job defensively, and Johnson made some saves. We had a couple opportunities, and early on they capitalized on a couple of their opportunities. One of our turnovers, and then obviously the play around the net. So they capitalized again, and we didn't.
Questions for the student athletes? We have the wireless mics. Please raise your hand.
Karson, on the power play, the lack of momentum that Coach just talked about, how much of that was kind of carryover from last night, unable to score against Denver?
Yeah, I don't think much of it was carried over. I think we kind of turned the page after last night. We went back and regrouped and had a video session and thought that we figured everything out. But like Coach said, give them credit. They came hard and won a lot of battles. I mean, we put pucks deep, which was kind of what we wanted to do, and they just outworked us. So give them credit there.
For both Blake and Karson, depending what happens tonight, this could be your guys' last game. Knowing that's a possibility coming in, how did you two both treat this game mentally coming in here?
You just treat it like any other game, You prepare the same way, you look at every aspect the same way, and all you can do is compete. I thought we did a good job early on getting pucks deep, and nothing really changes, it's just another game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say the same thing. I think the message was for all of our guys that tomorrow's not guaranteed. Obviously, we put ourselves in a tough spot here, needing help from other teams, and obviously the weekend didn't go the way we wanted here. But yeah, I think that was the message all weekend that next week's not guaranteed.
You guys were trying to get pucks deep and make the game a little more simple. What is it about North Dakota that makes it so hard to win pucks back?
Well, they're just a physical team down low, you can be first to that puck, but you're going to get hit from their D-men or their forwards. They all collapse really well, so even if you do get that pressure down low, you got a split-second decision to find your other guy before you got one or two guys in your face. So they do a really good job at putting pressure on you once you have the puck, and they do a really good job at getting back to the puck too. So sometimes you're not winning those races, and they're a good transition team. So you just gotta get you gotta get the puck deep, and you gotta win those battles and make plays.
Is that it for the student athletes? Nope.
Karson, you had a pretty impressive winning streak against North Dakota, and when you look up in the second period, it's 2-0. What are you thinking at that point? Does it change the way you attack it mentally?
Yeah, I think one thing we kind of built throughout the year was a lot of trust and belief in our team. I don't think looking up at the scoreboard anybody really was doubting us. I think 2 goals is pretty easy for our team, especially we've been scoring goals coming into the weekend like we have all year. But yeah, obviously you don't want to dig yourself a hole down at all, especially to a good defensive team like them. But yeah, I think we had a lot of belief, and obviously just didn't end up the way we wanted.
For either of you, if things do break your way and you are playing next weekend, do you think that you'll kind of have a sense of second life and be able to play for your next weekend and wherever you go?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of been one of our goals, is to make the regional tournament all year and be one of the last 16 teams standing. And I think if we get there, anything's possible. I think we can learn a lot from this weekend too, especially with our young group. just how hard these games are. I mean, it's so tough to end a team season and then continue years on. So I think if we're fortunate enough to be playing next weekend, this will be a good lesson this weekend.
Okay.
Blake, after the run you guys did make last year for this senior class, what would it mean not only to be the first ones to play in 4 straight NCAA tournaments at UMD, but, you know, get a chance to maybe do what you guys did last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been brought up a couple times to us that we could do that. And it's special knowing that you've been a part of some really good teams in the past, and when it's your last year on, you want to show the young guys just the way to go and show how hard it is to get there. It's an accomplishment to get to that tournament, and that was, like Karson said, our goal from the start. And it would give us new life, like you said earlier, give us new life, and I feel like we'd have a purpose and we'd prepare the right way. We did that tournament with full throttle.
Okay. Thanks, Karson and Blake.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Sandelin?
Scott, both players talked about how tough it was to break out of the zone. Prudovich, for all his offensive skill, I noticed him kind of carrying the play out of the offensive zone a few times. Is that by design, and are you okay with him in that role?
Absolutely. He's the one guy that certainly has that ability to get pucks out, or at least farther up the rink individually. I thought we've been doing that all year. So, but again, they're a good forechecking team. I thought we did a decent job getting out. We had a problem getting inside the dots. We had a lot of perimeter shots, and sometimes, like I said earlier, when your power play doesn't score early, sometimes, and maybe even it might have been a little carryover, Matt, too, where if you can get one early, maybe you get that energy, lifts you up. It's hard to score 5-on-5. I mean, like I said, the last 2 teams we played, Denver doesn't get enough credit for how good they are defensively too, and North Dakota's a good defensive team too, like a lot of teams in our league. So it's hard to score, and sometimes you just need that power play goal. But we didn't start with the puck. They're great. They're a good face-off team. They won a lot of draws. We started from 200 feet away, and we knew they were going to come with they kind of do their 1 or 2 man pressure, and they disrupted some things, and it kind of stayed that way pretty much the whole night. I mean, we never really got, we were very disjointed and coming up the rink, and like we did have to put pucks in. We didn't win enough battles to get it back. And that's what I said earlier. I'll give them credit. They won a lot of battles tonight. So you got to give credit where credit's due too.
Scott, for a lot of your, we talked to Karson and Blake about being here before, but you got a lot of guys who haven't been in this situation in college hockey before. Looking at a lot of those young guys, how do you feel they handled the weekend and the pressure that comes with this point of the college hockey season?
Well, I thought for the most part they did a good job. I mean, our young defensemen were put under a lot of pressure. I thought, they did a pretty good job, just like they've done all year. I have no issue with how they played. As a team, I didn't like particularly how we played, especially offensively. I thought defensively we were decent, but you got to score goals to win games, unless you're shutting everybody out. And Jeff did enough of that. And can't rely on him all the time to eat. I thought he played good again too. But for the most part, I thought it was good. It's part of the process. It's steps. It's our older guys have been through it. Fortunately, last year they went through it in 1 year and got to move on the last few years. And if we get that opportunity, that's the next part of the process. And it's really important that guys get to experience these games. And like I told them after, it's hard to win at this time of the year. It's hard. I mean, you're going to see a lot of different teams. I mean, tonight was just like you're going to see if you do advance. It's do or die. And tonight, the team that I thought played better won the game, and that was North. And if it was the NCAA regional, you'd be going home, and we might be anyway. But it's good for those guys to be in that and to get that understanding of of how hard it is. It's really tough if it is the last game, because I don't want to see that be the last game for certainly the two guys that were sitting up here, as well as the other seniors.
You mentioned getting pucks deep and then trying to win pucks back. Was it just not getting speed through the neutral zone that made that so hard?
They were good in the, they were very good in the neutral zone. I didn't think we had close enough puck support a lot. But they were their body position and being on top of people was very good, I thought, which, yes, that was a part of it. I thought we had some opportunities when we did get it in that we didn't have that support. Like, I thought we came up a couple times, or not a couple times, but quite a few times, was, one guy. We had a lot of line changes off some of those, but they did a good job. They played a very good game. They played a very good game defensively. They made it tough to get through the neutral zone. They made it tough in the defense, in the offensive zone. But I thought, for the most part, we did a decent job too against them in our defensive zone. It's unfortunate they got a couple power play goals at the end, which again I wasn't happy with that part of it, because that's 2 nights in a row, and again it was addressed.
This weekend, 2 games where you had trouble getting pucks back and getting 5-on-5. Good reinforcement for a young team.
I think every game you learn. Every game's a learning curve for you're young guys, old guys. I mean, you go through it. You see different teams. You see teams in different stages of the year. You see them in different, big games. I mean, every game is big this time of the year. They're even bigger because you're playing a lot of times for to keep your season going. But they're all learning curve. I think it's all a good learning process, and I hope that moving forward we learn from it, and if we get an opportunity to play, we're a better team for it.
Scott, we almost saw it with about 2 minutes left there. Have you ever seen a 5-on-3 shorthanded goal? It looked like it was going to happen there for a second.
It was nice. At least it put us within 2. At least it gave you some hope to try and get the goalie out. But that's frustrating. It was frustrating to end the game, the last 2 games that way. It's hard when you're killing penalties the last 6-7 minutes of the game when you're down 2-0. It's hard to even have a chance. And that happened 2 nights in a row, and that's probably what I'm most disappointed with. Was just the way the games ended with some of those penalties.